And over time, I became more and more socially aware. You feel me? I became more and more socially aware, and I gotta say, it hit me like a lot different. You know what I'm saying? Like when in like the last couple years, for instance, I started seeing things like I had never, it existed for longer apparently. You know what I'm saying? But I had never like really seen like things like the different movements and stuff that started happening. Like the Black Lives Matter. Then it was like. Then they were saying, this life matter, white lives matter. They were like blue lives matter. All these different lives matter. You feel me? And I mean, when I seen all this, I mean, I don't think I had ever processed it. You feel me? Like, cause I seen all this stuff. I know we got like so much going on in society, all this stuff going on. You know what I'm saying? And then, I mean, I always was, in support. I looked at things biblically. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, and that's pretty much how I look at it biblically. I mean, I pray. I always had the outlook where I wish the best for everybody. But our world is unfortunately very coded, color coded. And see, I mean, and I say that to say this, because when when you hit with the realization, you feel me? You just have, it come upon you, and you hit with the realization that I'm seeing all this stuff, and and I look at what I've been going through in my life. You feel me? Or what I had been going through in my life so long. You feel me? And I look at my life, and then I look at the life of others. You feel me? Then I as far as your regular people, and I look at like okay, other situations that came before the structures. You feel me? And just through history and stuff. And I look at my life and me knowing all the actions I've already taken. All year. I looked at this and then it just hit me one day. It's like, that's me. You feel me? When people out there saying Black Lives Matter and stuff, or these lives matter, I realized that my life is an exact example, what I'm saying, of why people are saying that. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, because you looking at a person here, and my life quite literally does not matter in America. You know what I'm saying? When you look at everything from back then all the way to now, I'm an example of a person whose life literally doesn't matter. And, to come into that realization and realize that this is being said a lot, you know what I'm saying? But when I sit back and I'm looking at this, and me knowing from experience what I've gone through wrongfully, all this time, and, and I look, and I come to that realization, it's a crushing reality that you feel me? Or, you feel me? Why, what I'm saying? You are an example of why people saying this kind of stuff. Probably the example. Because, I mean, it's just, it was something that it was strange of, because whatever happened, it pre-planned since 94. And it was just weird like that, so everything from back then to now, it's, I mean, everything from the torture, the permanent torture put in when I'm like 7 to the slanders that came in recent years, that right there tells you that it's an unnatural situation. It's not natural, what I'm saying, at all. And I mean, it's, to realize that, what I mean, that you the reason they said, what I'm saying, these lives, like, it's crazy like that. I'll be, what I mean, been through a whole lot. And I mean, it was stranger for me, that, I mean, just like, for instance, the fame situation I got, my fame, I mean, of course I got fame, from my literary talent. But when you think about the torture I was going through before my fame was, because I told y'all through the years it's been strange. My fame like fluctuated. I couldn't explain it. I don't know how it was possible, but I do know it's been the case. And it's like my fame would fluctuate at certain times depending on directly proportional to, you know, whether or not, you know, I could be, you know, I could have success, or whether or not, you know, my success could be throttled and I could be destroyed. It just was weird like that. Like my fame fluctuated, but my fame was earned rightfully. You feel me? Through, you know, art. As far as like for my literary type, my situation different because I had informal fame for the power of God that was on my life before I ever started, you know, in my literary career in the first place. But the light of God was on my life early on, and you know, it was seen by some that, you know, some people were in favor of it. You know, some people were in favor of it, and there was other people who, you know, they wanted that to be them. You feel me? And so, I mean, my fame is relative, really. You know, it's because, I mean, when you think about it, if this was pure fame, then I would have everything. When you look at it fundamentally, I would have everything that come with the fame. You know, the lights, the cameras, you know, the wealth, all of that. It's not fame, it's mockery. It's crucifixion. You know, I'm being humiliated, you know, every day. You feel me? I'm really quite literally on a cross. You know, so I'm in a full body cast, and there's somebody from above my financial bracket constantly telling me to get up and walk and move and walk and move and walk. You feel me? I'm in a full body cast from what I've gone through, not recognizing the cast or the damages, constantly, you know what I'm saying, demanding more and more from me without even being in a, you know, rational position to be able to make those demands of me. You feel me? Not legally, not compared to the next person's life or the lives of their favorite artists and things. I'm being subjected with a measure of cruelty that's far beyond, you know, pretty like the limits of, you know, the capacity of humanity right now. You know, it's like, it's intellectually, but it's using and exploiting your trauma that they intentionally giving you to further destroy you with it. You know what I'm saying? Slowly. It's the biggest insult to anybody that, you know, stand for what Eli stand for, and also who look like Eli in appearance. You know, every day I'm on a cross, you know, being humiliated. You know what I'm saying? I don't have, you know, I mean, it would take somebody going through it to understand what I mean when I say when all your options be blocked off on all sides. You know, you have to have gone through this and witnessed, because I mean, you're unable, they attack your sustainability. I've talked about that so many times before, you know, simultaneous to them being undermined, all the way to the point where I lose sustainability, you know, with the presence of said influences. And it's like, it just happens, you know, repeatedly, you know, while the whole world watching. I mean, so I'm unable to maintain sustainability. So that's going to force me to have to depend. And then if I depend, then I become a slave to whatever I'm dependent on. And from that, I can be extorted or whatever. My legacy can be canceled as, you know, my legacy, you know, depends on my ability to maintain it. You feel me? If my sustainability for my life is coming from somewhere else, you feel me? And that thing might not have the same interest I share in my, you know, freedom of expression. You feel me? Then I'm being extorted. You feel me? And I'm being coerced. You know what I'm saying? And they're, you know, I'm being entrapped. It's like it's illegal what's happening, but it's happening indeed from above the law. You know what I'm saying? And that's gonna force me into disinvention of my legacy canceled anyway. You see what's happening? Because I'm being forced into slavery. I want to be able to maintain and sustain for myself because I got a legacy on arts and stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's like one of these, your legendary artists or whatever, you know, the ones that people idolize. That's like them being put up under somebody else. You feel me? Like, getting all that money taken from them and them just being put under somebody else, unrelated to them. And then just have and let that person just, be like a shadow, to overshadow all that they ever accomplish or achieve. You know what I'm saying? It's so unfitting what they trying to do to me. They trying to turn a king into a peasant. You feel me? That's basically what they're trying to do. They're trying to make a king into a peasant. You know what I'm saying? And God, it's go cost. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, God go get them in due time, sooner or later. But yeah, this is humiliation. And it's mockery, man. I'm being mocked. But I'm not just being mocked, but anybody who, it's like an entire generation being mocked, through Eli. And they got me on the cross like this. I mean, and I wear it well for as long as I can. But like I say, man, I mean, I can provide for myself. I'm able. But seeing as that I'm able, if they see what they've been trying to do under the radar, to try to make me unable to be able to maintain my sustainability, or, maintain for myself. They've been trying to make me unable or unable to do that, and they fail. They've been failing relentlessly. So when they fail and everybody see that they've been failing, then they keep trying to frame me again into, by amplifying my damages and trying to make me conform into the damages which they've been giving me with destruction knowledge for the last 5-6 years. You feel me? In plain sight. On purpose, trying to, destroy me, on that level, of trying to, render me or make me unable or incapable of being able to, maintain my platforms and maintain my legacy and things. That way, it's easier for them to do the what? Murder, larceny. I'm being murdered by the structures, all this collusion, and all the injustices, militias, all these they doing this in plain sight. They're illegally, informally depriving me of basic rights in plain sight. You know what I'm saying? Virally. Illegally. You know what I'm saying? So I'm being mocked, man, humiliated. It's not fame. I'm on the cross every day.